Hi, Peace Kids. Today I'm going to read you The Great Easter Egg Hunt, copyright 1984 by Walter Drake and Sons. Once upon a year, very much like this one, the springtime came a little earlier and a little more beautifully than it had in a long while. The daffodils sparkled like gold in the sunlight, and crocuses came up in a whole rainbow of dazzling colors. Even the robin's breast looked like a big, bright flower. And of course, Easter morning that year was extra special. At least Benjamin thought so as he walked along near where he lived in St. Charles, Missouri. But suddenly, he saw an adorable little rabbit sitting beside the road looking as though he might cry. "Whatever can the matter be with on such a beautiful morning?" asked Benjamin. "And who are you?" "I'm Broderick, a #1 super first-class appointed helper for the Easter Bunny," said the rabbit managed to answer, even though his lower lip was quivering. At least his lip quivered a little bit more. "I used to be. I've made a terrible mistake. And Easter Bunny, as kind-hearted as he is, might not let me be his helper anymore." "Well," said Benjamin, "I'd like to be your friend. My name is Benjamin. I'm 7 years old, and I have a pet named Sandy, and I want to help you. Tell me what happened. I'm sure you didn't mean to do anything wrong." "Well," said Broderick, drawing himself up bravely, "I was supposed to hide all the Easter eggs for the great Easter egg hunt this afternoon." He dabbed at the corner of his eye with a lilac leaf. "I did all of that," he said, as a tear slid down his cheek anyhow. "But my cousin Richard says that I also hid the glorious golden egg by mistake. It was supposed to be the prize for finding the most eggs. And I don't even remember seeing it, much less hiding it somewhere." There," said Benjamin as he patted Broderick gently on the back. "I'm going to help you find the glorious golden egg. But first, you must remember all the places where the eggs are hidden." Broderick began to feel much better and dried his eyes on a fresh lilac leaf. Benjamin was deciding just how to begin. "Let's see," he said. "I know a special person named Brandon who will help us. Do you know anybody who will help?" "Oh, sure," said Broderick. "Oh, wait a minute, I didn't show you the pictures." "Oh, sure," said Broderick. "I'll just ask my brothers and sisters and all my cousins to help us." With that, he gave a long, loud whistle, and out of the bushes hopped hundreds of adorable little rabbits who looked exactly like Broderick. Benjamin laughed and clapped his hands in delight. "We're sure to find the glorious golden egg with all this help." So while Broderick sat down to make a list of all the places where he'd hidden the eggs, Benjamin got everyone together and told them how they could help to look for the glorious golden egg. When everyone was ready to go, Broderick said that the first place on his list was the Magic Flower Garden. So they all went there to search. The magic flowers nodded and hummed and moved their leaves aside so that the children and Broderick's brothers and sisters and cousins could look for the eggs. They found where 738 eggs were hidden, but no glorious golden egg. "Well, I hid a lot of eggs in the magic forest, too," Broderick told Benjamin. "The glorious golden egg is sure to be there." So they all hurried away to the magic forest. It was cool and misty and a little scary in the magic forest. But the magic trees were very friendly. They rolled their eyes and waved their limbs and helped point out where the eggs were hidden. The children and all their helpers searched under ferns and in the tall grass beneath the trees. Soon they found 600 more hiding places, but still no sign of the glorious golden egg. "Where else can we look, Broderick?" everyone asked. This time Broderick said that more eggs were hidden all around the enchanted lake. That was close to Easter Bunny Burrow, where Easter Bunny lived. So Broderick's brothers and sisters and cousins, with Broderick and the children in the lead, set off once more, looking just like a big parade. As they made their way along, who should come hopping lickety-split down the road but one of Broderick's 932 little cousins, Horace Hopper. "Broderick, Broderick!" Horace shouted as he tried to stop but couldn't. He ran in short half circles, came running back to Broderick and shouted right in his face, "Guess what?" "What?" said Broderick, trying not to be swept over backwards. The words tumbled out of Horace's mouth. "It's a golden egg," he cried. "Mrs. Heron has a golden egg in her nest, and she's sitting on it. She says she's sure it will hatch into someone special." Everyone thought that Broderick might just faint, but instead he gave a big whoop and started running as fast as he could toward the enchanted lake. In fact, Broderick ran so fast that Benjamin, Brandon, and all the rest had to run their fastest to stay in sight of him. You can imagine how Mrs. Heron felt when she saw the huge commotion and realized it was all heading her way. She bravely stayed right on her eggs and only covered her head with her wing as Broderick ran up and shouted, "You don't understand, Mrs. Heron." "Shh," Mrs. Heron scolded. "You'll disturb my eggs." She patted the side of her nest and smiled. "There's one very special egg here, and it's going to hatch into someone most extraordinary." "But that's just what I'm talking about," Broderick whispered loudly as the others came running up all out of breath. "That golden egg is the prize for today's Easter egg hunt, and it can't possibly turn into anybody." Just then, Mrs. Heron got a surprised look on her face. She stood up and looked into the nest under her. Just peeking out of the golden eggshell was a baby heron with great big eyes. Benjamin took the baby up in his arms. Mrs. Heron smiled with her motherly love and said, "There, I told you someone special was in that egg." Poor Broderick looked confused and bewildered. "I was sure that was the egg I lost," he said, shaking his head slowly back and forth. Suddenly, everyone said, "Ooh." And then they said, "Ah." For out of the crowd stepped Easter Bunny himself. What's more, he was holding the glorious golden egg. Easter Bunny stepped over and put his paw on Broderick's shoulder. "Dear Broderick," he said, "you must have been so upset. What happened was that your little cousin Richard wanted to play a prank on you. So he painted one of Mrs. Heron's eggs to look like the glorious golden egg. Then he hid it near the enchanted lake and told you that you had hidden it by mistake. He apologizes and feels sorry now that he caused you so much trouble." Broderick turned to Mrs. Heron. "Lucky for us that you found the egg and put it back in your nest. Your baby might not have hatched at all." "I knew right away that it was my own egg," Mrs. Heron said. "It wouldn't matter what color it was. I'd know my own egg anywhere." "Of course," said Easter Bunny. "See, Broderick, I have the glorious golden egg right here." And he held up the most beautiful Easter egg that Benjamin had ever seen. It was decorated all over with lacy gold and silver ribbons. Around the middle there were tiny gold flowers arranged in little bouquets. How everyone admired it as it shimmered and sparkled in the sunlight. Broderick was so overwhelmed he didn't know whether to laugh or cry. I was afraid that you wouldn't let me be your helper anymore, he told Easter Bunny. Why, Broderick, said Easter Bunny, I couldn't do it without your help. How else would I ever deliver all the Easter baskets and hide all of the eggs every year? With that, everyone cheered loudly. Benjamin gave Broderick a great big hug, and then he shook Easter Bunny's paw. It was a wonderful moment. You're such a special friend, Broderick said to Benjamin. I think you should have the glorious golden egg. Certainly not until I find the most eggs, said Benjamin. But now I know where to look. So come on, let's go. And that's the end of that story, Peace Kids. I hope you enjoyed it.